Hello, my name is Renisa.
Hey y'all, this is Jen.
And it's our podcast.
Speak Up.
What's up, Jen?
Hey girl.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. Glad that we're in episode 69.
Y'all, don't get no dirty ideas right there.
Yeah, we take the time. For those of you that don't know, me and Jen are best friends. We create this podcast to use our voices to motivate people to overcome life's challenges through self-love and respect.
Yep, self-love and respect are two core values we hold near and dear to our hearts.
Yes, most definitely. But before we get started, we have a couple of announcements.
So we just want to remind y'all that you can check us out live and unfiltered only on the Good News Radio every Thursday at 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can download the app by going to the link in our Instagram bio, and you can check out other cool shows on there too. There's other stations for all kinds of podcast radio listeners, and I promise that you'll find something that you love, but definitely support your girls over here. You can call into the show. You can join on the chat. We love interacting with you guys, so definitely check us out live and unfiltered Thursdays 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time only on the Good News Radio.
Yes, and also shout out to our sponsor, My Bar, located in Inglewood, California, 720 East Manchester. Please tap in, y'all, that you get your nails done, your brows, get a nice pedicure, also get your hair done. Ask for and tell her that SpeakUpJV podcast sent you. Her Instagram is at mybar. That's MYY.BAR.
That's right, y'all.
Yes, so we have a cool topic for today. Our title is Keep It G.
What the G stand for?
Genuine.
Yes, y'all. That's what we're talking about today. Keeping that genuine support alive.
Yes. Genuine support, I think that's that's huge. Because there's a support, but is it genuine? And then it's like, because you got people who support it, but there's like something behind it that they want or whatever. And then you got people who just don't want to support, and you got to force it. So, we're going to talk, we're going to relate that to self-love and inner peace today, because I think that should be talked about.
Yeah, definitely. So that's why we wanted to get into like why it shouldn't be forced in the first place. I know sometimes we have these big dreams that we wish like our families would support, or even people close to us, but we quickly realize that not everybody shares that same vision that we have. So we kind of force these people around us to have our back, right? And to believe in that dream, have the same vision that we have. But the problem with that is that it's not coming from the heart. They're not doing it because they genuinely feel it. They're probably doing it just because you told them to, or you made them, or there's like some kind of incentive for them to do it. And that's not long lasting either. Like, that's just something that's going to happen just because you said something, and then the next time you need that actual support again, it's not going to happen again.
Yeah, I'm gonna say it's not stable support, because like it will like fall like eventually. And it's like, I feel like too with genuine support, who really got your back and who don't. Like, I know all of us have been supported some way, and someone just did something. Ain't that the best gesture, when like people just naturally kind of flow to you and stuff, and you don't have to. I've been in that space too, where I'm like, well, I'm related to this person, or I'm real close, I grew up with this person, and you start questioning yourself, beating yourself up, or it brings it like disturbance when you're trying to like get people to do things that they probably don't even want to do, don't even care to do.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, us being like the independent ones, right? The ones always having to figure it out or whatever. It's like, it's going to get done regardless, which is cool. I think it's made us stronger, but there's consequences to that, because we're the ones having to figure out our own resources, and we don't know who to ask or even where to begin to ask. We don't know the right people, so we're thinking that the support, quote unquote, that we get from like our loved ones is the right kind of support or is enough. But sometimes that's not the case. You really do need somebody outside of your inner circle, especially if you're the first one in your family or in your circle to do something different. You do need to be surrounded by people who are going to be able to do the same thing, or who are going to be able to teach you about what you're trying to do.
Yeah, especially when you're dealing with like crabs in a barrel. It's like, what support is that too? Like, forget support, there's a lot of knocking you down, pulling you down, and things like that. So I feel like you end up feeling, okay, forget it, I'm going to do everything on my own. But it's hard for you to want to seek that help. And I want to say too, it's nothing wrong with asking for support, but the point we're trying to make here is don't feel like you have to beg for it, because sometimes people don't even know that they can support you. I feel like, like, let's say you want someone to try something for your business, maybe they don't even know about it, so you have to like put it out there, of course. But if it gets to a point where you have to like overly do it, or like do something crazy or whatever, or like cause an argument with them because they're not, it's not worth it. I've been in that space before where I'm like, well, why isn't it but in the day, what's the word? It's a waste of time.
Yeah.
And then if that's not the person I want to do, I'd rather have genuine things around me.
That's true. And I think this is big, too, in trying to get the genuine support, where it doesn't mean you're going to get something in return. I think sometimes we feel like the only way to get people to support us is if we're doing some kind of incentive, like I was mentioning earlier, like, oh, you know, well, if you shout me out like on 10 comments or something, you know, I'll give you $50 or whatever. Like, these are cool incentives, yeah, to get people to do something, but is it genuine support? No, that genuine support comes from like people posting without you having to ask them to, or, you know, spreading word about your business without you having to say anything about it. Like, it's gonna come from the heart, because either these people believe in your dream or in your services, they're happy with what you're doing with them, or they just genuinely want to see you win, right? But when we start to try and force that support and promising something in return, then we're going to come across a lot of people who are just going to be with us while it's benefiting them. And I think that becomes very destructive towards the future.
Yeah, I think too, genuine support, it shouldn't be conditional. Like, it shouldn't be like, okay, you didn't get your way with me now, or something, you know, like there's a disagreement. Oh, bam, you pull from it. You should be supporting because you want to. You shouldn't have to do, because I feel like your character is being questioned at that point, where it becomes, you know, conditional or something like that, because it's like, okay, why did you do that, you know, why did you act like you were supporting me? And some people only gonna want to support you when you pop in, like when things blowing up and doing stuff, and you have to watch out for that too, because it's like, I love that whole getting out the mud thing, because like when you getting out the mud, you really see you down there right there. Who is down for you? Why are you getting out the mud? Because it's easy when you pop in and things blow up, everyone's in your face smiling, but that's not even genuine support. No, because it's conditional. Oh, because of this, I'm going to. But I also want to say too, you got a friend out there that has a business, please support. We so quick to jump and support these, you know, support celebrities, whatever. They came out with they got a new podcast, they got a new movie, whatever. And our friends are the next geniuses in line, you know what I mean? And it's really important, especially with me and Jim building this podcast. Like, we've definitely have seen like the work that it takes, like, you know, starting something from the ground up and trying to enhance, you know, trying to build it up. And it does take a village to do that and stuff. So like, I just think about like when one of your friends is selling a book or doing something, show that genuine support and love for it. And don't just wait till they pop in and do it.
And I was going to say that too. Like, why are people so afraid to support like smaller businesses or smaller projects? Just because not everybody else is tweeting about it or reposting it or whichever. Like, it doesn't make sense to me, especially when, like you were saying, it's somebody that you know, like somebody that you supposedly call a friend or you love or whichever. Like, I think if you genuinely call somebody your friend, you should be able to support what they're doing, unless it's destructive, of course. But when it comes to their dreams or businesses they're trying to build, we should be the main ones shouting them out or buying from them at least, or reposting. It doesn't take much to just repost something.
It's free.
Yeah, we repost memes and reels and participate in all these trends all the time. Why can't we just do one simple repost, one simple like, one simple comment, you know, something like that? Or even out in the real world, like word of mouth, it still has a lot of power.
That's the biggest power, really.
Exactly, yeah. So you can go to the coffee shop and, you know, somebody mentions that they need a new nail artist or something. Give them our sponsor, you know, something they say they want to hear a new podcast, you know, mention our name. Like, these are just examples, of course, that would benefit us. But when you think about it in the long run or in the bigger picture, you realize how many of your friends you can actually be supporting by just doing the smallest of things.
Yeah, and I think a lot of it too is, I mean, we're in a time where everything's about trends. So it's like, what is popping at the moment? If something ain't, no one's gonna rock with it. So shout out to those people that still support their friends, or, you know, people that they know, or like some good service that they had, and not ashamed just because it's a smaller business and stuff. Because honestly, I mean, I'm gonna be real, how many of them smaller little food places though got the bombest food? I'm gonna be honest with you, better than like a bigger chain of place. So it's really some hidden gems out there. You never know, like, really the impact you're making by simply supporting, you know. And I want to say too, with support, you know, if you have to question it, it's probably not real. So I mean, we all receive support from people, you know, that we didn't seem right and stuff. If you get that little feeling, it probably isn't genuine. So it's probably has anyone ever been super nice to you when they wanted something?
Yeah, I'm sure y'all have come across those, right? And that's the thing. Like, I think one of the biggest things that made me realize I had to question people's loyalty or support or whatever is getting those backhanded compliments. Like, it's, you ever hear something where you think about it later and you're like, damn, this person was actually insulting me, you know, and that really sucks because, especially if you don't catch it in the moment, because I'm the type of person where I'm like, damn, I should have said that, I should have responded. But it's not even that. It's more of like, wow, this person can't seem to support me without insulting me first or saying something negative about it first. And these are the people who are actually trying to destroy your dreams, or who are not trying to see you succeed or be better than them. Maybe they do want you to succeed, but just not more than them. And this is a really big problem. I don't know why we have to feel like we're in such competition with each other and we can't just give an actual compliment without giving an insult at the same time.
Yeah, and it's sad how it's big in the people around you, because I feel like it's not like that with, like, sometimes those strangers is really not. Yeah. So I don't know where that comes from, but I feel like that's not good for our self-love and inner peace when we're in competition with the people around us versus just showing that love and support. In the day, we all got a lane.
Yeah.
We all have a lane. We all have a journey. Our journeys look different. We sitting here trying to do the same thing or compare ourselves. We're making it more complicated for ourselves, So, I mean, even me and Jen, like, yes, we do this podcast together, but we still have our own life purposes, our own life journeys. Our lives are completely different, you know what I mean? But we're still able to support each other in other avenues of our life that don't go with, that isn't the podcast, So it's just one of those things. Another thing too, if someone is, not giving you genuine support and you've been trying to question it, don't take it personal. At the end of the day, that's disrupting your peace. I've been in that space before where I took it I took it personal. I thought it had something to do with me, or I'm like catching myself like worried about and it's like, in the day, I'm making myself unhappy when the person don't even care, whoever it was that I was asking.
Exactly. It's hard not to, obviously. Like, we know, right? Yeah, I still sometimes take things personal when I reach out and, there's no response on the support. But it's more of growing from there and seeing too, like, who actually does have your back or who doesn't. I think this is key, especially when you are moving up, because I'm the type of person where it's like, okay, you not supporting me from down here, you ain't gonna get to support me when I finally do make it up. And it's not even on like, oh, you don't deserve it or anything like that. It's more of like, when I really needed that extra support, that extra hand, the extra ear to listen or something, that person wasn't there. And why would I take you when things are finally getting better? So just more of like realizing who you can still mess with and who you can't. I think this is really important, especially when things do start to boom for you.
That's true. And I think the way for it to boom is for you to keep going, right? End of the day, like, a message we want to say is don't stop posting content because of a lack of support. I remember we had Tamir as a host, as a guest on our live platform, and she mentioned that quote, and that stuck to me because it's true. It's like, just because someone doesn't want to show or people like don't want to like your post and like it doesn't mean you don't have a gift. It doesn't mean that's not your purpose. In the day, that's just the wrong crowd of people that you interact, whatever. The right people will catch on to. There's someone for everyone out there. There's a group for everyone, and whatever content you're trying to put out there is an audience for that. I really had to learn the importance of that. Sometimes it's not in your community or small circle, and I think we put too much power on the fact that we're related to somebody or we grew up with somebody. I think we put whole people up here, and it's that they aren't. We always say this. Look at the soul, forget the label, look at the soul. And I think sometimes too, they're not meant to give you that genuine support. And I think take the title off though, because that's whoop-de-whoop. No, what is this serving? Exactly. Is this genuine energy that you have around you?
Exactly. Yeah. At the end of the day, someone's role isn't gonna determine how real they are with you or anything. We've seen betrayal happen at all levels, in families, relationships, all kinds of things. So that shouldn't be surprising. And then I think what we've learned too is sometimes people don't believe in you because they don't believe in themselves. It's like you're taking that extra leap that they would have never taken because they're too scared to, or they don't think they would ever be successful, so they want to make sure you feel that same exact way. Like, I've learned a lot of people's projections come in the form of not supporting us, or giving those backhanded compliments, or just projecting, in showing that how they really feel about themselves. They're just going to make sure you feel that same exact way. Like they say, misery loves company, right? So at the end of the day, if somebody is miserable because they didn't follow their dreams or their goals, they're going to want to make sure somebody else feels that same exact way. So if you have that light about your dream and your goals, and you see somebody just trying to tear you down, watch out for those people, because those are the main ones who are either going to try and knock you down every time you have a success, or when you finally are up there, they're going to be the main ones calling your phone.
That's so true. It's like that's them like raining on your parade, you know, purposely not doing it to like get a reaction out of you, you know. So that is true. And everything too, a lack of support, it doesn't mean give up. Like we're gonna have to set our, because like, I mean, be real. I feel like we're giving other people's opinions too much power when we do that. Like you're giving them power over your life and your dreams because someone just purposely doesn't want to support you. You know what I mean? It's like that shouldn't steer you away from what you're trying to do. I'm real. This stuff is hard. Anything you want to go after, it's hard. It's gonna be rejection. It's gonna be disappointment. People not having your back like you thought. Like you realize, it's funny when you really do choose yourself or choose a path you want to take. You really do see how people feel, what their intentions are towards you. And I think I learned to not take that personal and just take it as, okay, I know what boundary to set with this person, how to rock with this person. Just because too, and another thing too I want to say, let's say you have something like you're an entrepreneur and someone doesn't want to support your business, it doesn't mean either that you don't have to be friends with them anymore. Sometimes certain people are just meant for certain lanes in your life. It doesn't always have to, you know what I mean? I had to learn that too as a way of not taking it personal. Like, well, I'm sorry, like we were told one day with podcasting, some people don't listen to podcasts, and it doesn't mean they don't care about you, but if it's not their thing, it's not.
Yeah, this is why communities are important for anything, right? You find that niche and you connect with people in it that if you are into podcasting, we'll narrow it down further, right? Because now, thankfully, the podcasting community is growing. But if you're into like a music podcast, then, you know, connect with people in that industry specifically. If you're more into like Selflove and Inner Peace podcast, you know, connect with us, you know, different things like that. Like you got to find people who have the same vision you do, or at least a similar one, because more than likely the people in your hometown are not going to be the ones having that same exact vision, or even the people in your own family. Because like I was saying, if you are the first one to be doing something, you're going to be very misunderstood and you're going to feel very alone sometimes. So having that community and that connection with other people who believe in the same thing is going to make that journey a little bit more bearable, because you're going to feel like, okay, well, they're probably going through the same struggles or something similar, so what I'm going through makes sense too.
That's so true. Yeah, it's really about like really vetting people and seeing who's in your corner and everything too. Ask yourself, when you're supporting people, is it genuine? You know, we have to hold ourselves accountable to. We can sit here all day and say, watch out for these people. What are we doing? You know, we love to do the self-reflection thing. So when all these people you're supporting, is it genuine? Or is it like you're doing it for a reason, that, you know, you want something out of it, whatever. I think too, we have to make sure too our intentions are genuine when we're approaching people too. And you attract that right back to you.
This is huge. Like, I don't think people talk about this enough, because our podcast, I know we're always talking about like, if you're experiencing this, you're doing this, but it's more of like, okay, reciprocate it back, you know, making sure that whatever you're trying to point out in other people, you ain't doing the same thing. So this is big in what we're talking about with the support, where you're probably have a lot of friends or family members who have a brand new business and it's not booming yet, so they need that extra support. So make sure you're supporting them as well, you know, that word of mouth, like we were saying, just making sure you spread the word. Like there's so many different ways that you can show it without knowing that you're going to get something in return. And I think this is so beautiful about, you know, just humanity, about us being able to connect with each other, knowing that, dang, I did a good thing in supporting somebody today, you know, or something, or I brought in that extra profit that they needed, or not even that, just more of like, I know I did a good thing by spreading the word out there to my followers, you know, about my friend's business or something. Like there's just something so genuine about being able to help somebody without expecting anything else in return.
That's so true. And honestly, y'all, all this relates to self-love, because self-love is genuine. You want to, you know, self-love is genuine. You want to be a genuine person. You want to receive genuine energy. So it's really about being mindful about what you're letting around you, and not being forceful about it.
And of course, you know, we got to talk about the flip side of things too. Let people help you.
That
one thing I really learned
Go ahead.
is that as much as there are shitty people out there, there are some amazing people out there who genuinely have your back, genuinely want to see you succeed. And it goes back to that community that we were talking about, because when you find that, you realize like, dang, there are people out there trying to help me, you know, people who know more about something that I want to start. So when I ask them questions, it's not like, oh, well, that's a secret or nothing. It's more of like, oh yeah, no worries, you know, and call me anytime you need it or anything like that. And this goes for anything. It can be like for mentorship, it can be for a job, it can be for a brand new business, whatever it is, or relationships, you know, even like, I like asking like married couples, you know, what's their secret to make things work, because I've never been married, but one day I do want to, but I want to make sure that I am as successful as I can be. So I ask these questions so that I can learn. But we got to be teachable in that aspect too, but we got to be accessible as well. And in being accessible, we're allowing people into our space and allowing them to provide that actual genuine support.
Yeah, and also to defeat that mindset of crabs in a barrel mindset, thinking that everyone's out to get you. I think that's something too we have to conquer. Because when you are in a new community, you know, you're engaging yourself with people who genuinely do support you, you're going to push them away if you're in that survival mode. I'll say that defensive mode when it comes, oh, well, why are they helping me? Because we've all been guilty of that, I think. Like, you know, thinking someone has bad intentions, but they really don't. But it's because of, let's be real, if you were around people who weren't supportive or genuine, of course you're going to think everybody got a star on your back or whatever. But, you know, I am learning to allow people to do nice gestures and know, okay, you said there are good people out there. There really is, you know, but you got to find them. But they're there. I'm being funny, y'all.
That's true. But that's why it's important to take your time to vet people out, and that genuine support, yes, may come from a complete stranger. It might be the first time y'all talk, you click and whatever. That's very rare though. So sometimes you have to really get to know somebody before they provide that support, because it goes both ways too, right? If I see that there's a really good business out there, but the owner's like a little sketchy, I'm not going to support that business no matter how great the idea is or anything like that. So it's seeing both, right? Not just the idea, the business, the dream, but it's seeing the person behind it, the person who thought of it, you know, what kind of heart do they have? What is their overall intention with that business or anything? So when you take your time in getting to know these people, then you're finding that out too. You're realizing, well, what is driving the success of this place? And then where do they see themselves in the long run? So when you ask these questions too, you're really getting deeper into why you should support somebody in the first place.
I love that. And going deeper on vetting too, you know, not everyone deserves to know all of your dreams. So be cautious about who you tell these things to, because you want to just keep genuine energy and genuine support.
Yeah, exactly. And we just want to tell y'all, like, learn to support each other, you know, build that support. There's nothing wrong. Like, there's enough room for all of us for whatever we want to do out here. Like, just because someone may have a similar business to yours or anything doesn't mean they're running it the same exact way. It doesn't mean they're branding it the same exact way. It doesn't even mean the formula or whatever you're using is the same exact way. Everybody can have their own dream and accomplish it and still be different from others, and be successful enough. I just think we need to stop being in competition with each other and just genuinely start to support each other.
Yes, well said. We appreciate y'all tapping into our 69th episode, but before we go, we have a couple announcements.
So just a reminder, again, check us out live and unfiltered Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on the Good News Radio. You can download the app by going to the link in our bio. You can also check out other great, amazing shows on there. There's taste for everybody, so I promise you will not be disappointed. But, of course, support your girls over here. You can call into the show. You can chat with us live. We love interacting with y'all. So go download the app. Check us out live and unfiltered Thursdays, 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, only on the Good News Radio.
Yes, and a quick shout out to our sponsor, My Bar, located at 720 East Manchester in Inglewood, California. Please tap in, ask for mine, get your nails done, your hair, your lashes, your brows, get some champagne, and just get pampered. You just, you know, hooked my setup right here, as you can see. But make sure y'all tap in and hit up the Instagram at My Bar. That's at MYY.BAR. Yep, and tell them SpeakUpJV sent you.
That's right, y'all.
Yes, but we appreciate y'all tapping in. You know, please check us out on our other platforms. Check us out on Instagram at SpeakUpJV. Tweet us at SpeakUpJV. And also, you can check us out. You're listening YouTube, Spotify, Podbean, iHeartRadio. We're everywhere. Thank you guys for all the support. And please like and subscribe this video if you are watching. And yeah, tell your friends. Love y'all.
Love y'all.
Bye.